Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be telling you about a AI photo editor that will be able to make your photos look like this in just a few minutes after uploading them. You could shoot a house, get back to your office, upload the photos, and have it delivered to your clients in 30 minutes. In this video I'm going to show you my process when I'm using Fotello, tips, pricing, and the results. So there's some big tips if you have certain types of houses on how to set up their presets. And what's really cool, what's really neat is they have people on the back end. So if a photo doesn't look right or there's colors that are off, you can click a little button and the real person in the background goes through, edits it, and sends it back to you. So join me in this quick tour. So as always, I will try to set this all up in chapters. So if there's one thing you're looking for or an explanation of something, just skip to that chapter. Now when you start Fotello, you get, I think it was 5 trial listings. Like you get to upload 10 different photos 5 different times or something like that. And you can see how the edits turn out. And I tried that and it was amazing. So I immediately started the subscription with them. I am not sponsored by these guys. There is no referrals or anything like that, except for this. If you decide to use Fotello, please use my referral code. Help me out, help yourself out. You get 15 free listings. So when you open Fotello, this is what your screen looks like. A great thing about Fotello is great customer service. They have a little message button down in the corner. You can send them a message. So in this case, I am going to name my listing test for YouTube. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them know that I just did a test, basically to show you guys. And then they'll give me a credit for that listing so I don't have to pay these photos that I'm uploading. And they also do the same thing if there's errors or problems, anything happens. They're always super nice and giving credits back when something doesn't work right, like you accidentally upload the wrong photos or your computer crashes in the middle of uploading photos, anything weird like that and everything doesn't get processed, they will happily give you a credit, which is great customer service. I love these guys for that kind of stuff. So for this test for you guys, I'm going to upload a house that we had done last week, and it included Twilight photos. And because it has Twilight photos in it, I sent it to my main editor. Been with me for years. I suggest keeping your main editor also, because Fotello right now not so great with Twilight, and they admit it. They said they're working on it. So maybe that eventually will be something. All right. So you see we uploaded those photos. They came in pretty quick, and it automatically stacks them. Up on the top right, it says you can group it by time, count number, or manually do it. I always leave it at time. It seems to work every time, but you can see it. There's 1 of 3. I put a suggestion in for them to make it so the brighter picture is the first one we see, so you can see what it is really. Sometimes some of these pictures are kind of dark and you're not able to tell what it is until you move it over to the brighter exposure. So we do always stack at 3. I shoot raw. Fotello says they do JPEG. Turns out just as well, but it's just I shoot raw. It's the way it is. I like the flexibility. Files might be bigger, but this is the way I like to do it. But if you shoot JPEG, stack of 5, all that different stuff, Fotello says it'll turn out just as nice, and they have a great setup. So all the photos that I uploaded, there's 1 of 3 in each one, and then you can see here where it says exterior, interior. So what you want to do is switch all the exterior over to exterior, just like this. Also a helpful tip, if there is no outside, like let's say a patio, this facing the patio, but there's no sky or grass or anything like that, sometimes choosing interior has a better result. So what I do first is I go through and I select all the exterior shots. So like this one here, I could leave it as interior or exterior. I'm going to do exterior. We'll see how it looks, and then I'll show you how to change it if you want to see the different version. And the other great thing is once it's processed, you can switch it up a little bit. Okay, that's it. So over here on the right, we have the shot type. It's both interior and exterior. The view mode is how you're looking at it here. So if you want to see all 3 like this, then you can see how it looks separated out. I always leave it in the carousel, a little bit bigger. And then the perspective correction. So if you want your pictures to be straight, you leave that on. If you want the sky to be replaced, you leave that on. And then you have your options down here. You can see Twilight is still beta. Natural, I'll show you when you should use natural. In this house, it was a white interior, updated, nice. So I'm going to do the signature look. You can see the signature is selected. That makes it look like the picture I showed you guys in the first example. And then once you're ready to go, you click Enhance Listings. Now, if I didn't click through any of these to make sure there was 3 pictures or anything like that, when I hit Enhance Listings, it'll do a warning saying you didn't double check, and then you want to continue or not. But anyway, I'm going to hit Enhance Listings, and it's going to start enhancing based on the signature look for Fotello. Now, it is 9:13 right now in the morning on Saturday, on a Saturday. I will upload these. Let's see what my internet speed is while we're doing this here. Current settings, the important one is upload 25 megabytes. So a couple tips: you do not want to shut off this screen. You want them all to upload completely and get finished. If you leave this screen, it'll stop wherever it is, and then you'll have to do another listing and ask them for another credit. Been there, not on purpose. Sometimes your laptop will go to sleep and stop the upload. So that needs to complete here. I didn't even pay attention to how many pictures we're uploading. We uploaded 243 files, which is 81 edited photos. Must be a big house. I'll let this go, and then we'll get back once it's all done. Okay, it's now 9:16. I already have my first 3 edited. All right, it is 9:36. What is that, 23 minutes? I'm recording and also doing other stuff while these are uploading, so it's going a little slower than normal. Usually it'd be done by now. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention: once you hit refresh or start this process, you can't upload any more photos. So if there's more photos you needed to upload, there was a button on the bottom for upload more. So make sure you get all the photos in here for this house. But one thing is to watch for failed uploads. Sometimes an upload just doesn't get edited. So up at the top, it'll before you finish, you think they're all there, make sure there's all 243 of your files get uploaded. We're still uploading, and it was missing this one right here. You can see that it's processing. So if I had not paid attention to it saying one failed, then that might not have been processed and client wouldn't have got that picture. So you can see we did 81 photos. It is 9:39. This is how long it took. I forgot what time we started. 9:13, I think. And we got the 81 photos. This one's still processed, but we'll call it good. And before I open this up and show you the next process, I want to show you guys the A and B comparison. The AI versus the real editor. Comment below, is A the AI or is B the AI? Let me know which one you think. And then also let me know which one you like better, if you like one over the other one. Now remember, one of these is sent out. I get it back the next day, and the other one I get done in 30 minutes. And we'll do cost comparisons coming up. All right, let's begin the A/B test. So, do you think A or B is the AI? Take a look, and let's move on to the next one. The reason I chose these pictures is because you can see brown, how it does with brown, how it does with window cutouts, different colors, a lot of stuff in here. Here is picture 1. Here is picture 2. Now keep in mind, I am not switching back and forth. It's AI is either A or B. They're all in the same lineup. So you can see the cutouts for both, pretty good. The colors, a little bit different. Next one, and I'll just slowly go through the rest. The reason I chose these particular photos is because of the colors. So you can see how AI and the editor does with saturation, colors, etc. Here's a bathroom. A side note, this annoys me. The photographer should have straightened up that towel or removed it. That looks unprofessional. Take a picture like that. And for sure, these are both deliverable. Both for the AI and the real editor. I saw the wall colors a little bit different, but everything else is right on. It seems similar. These pictures look similar. The colors are slightly different in both, but they are similar pictures. Now I didn't show you any exterior photos because it is very obvious which one is AI and which one is an editor. But I do want to show you why I use a real editor for Twilight, because AI can't do this. I can't get this image, can't make it look as good. So real editor beats out AI for Twilight every time. All right, let's go back to the first photo we were showing as example. I'm going to click it back and forth between the two. If you guessed A was AI, you are correct. What I have found is, even though my editor does a great job, for the most part, the AI is usually more color accurate on walls. Not all the time, but usually. My editor has priority to be white bright, and sometimes when he gets overzealous, he creates a different color wall. A little disappointed in this version, actually. Now that I'm looking at them, I like the AI better. The exterior is a different story. So with exterior, this area is pretty close. The editor made it a little bit brighter, but saturation wise, they're both good. Again, the Twilight can't do. This one is AI, decent in the front, but sometimes you get a drone shot or something that it just kills. Like this is a boring edit. Took out the saturation, but there is a way to fix that in the AI. Here's what the editor edited that one shot with. So you can see it's a pretty big difference between that and that. All right, let's go back to Fotello. So let me know what you think about the editor versus the AI in that case. These are the first times I'm seeing these photos. My quality control put them through. I probably would have put those photos through also without knowing the wall is actually gray, not like a yellowish white, whatever he had there. So once these are all uploaded and done, I'm going to go through and show you what I do with this process. Again, took less than 30 minutes to upload and get these back. And then I just go through one at a time, looking for stuff that does not look right and things you can add. The first thing I do when I'm opening these up is I make sure that the signature look is the look that turned out. Got all the colors right. For the most part, everything looks really good. So I'm going to leave it there. I have some clients that like it brighter and wider. So I made a preset with exposure, contrast, everything, so it looks like this. Here's the way Fotello does it naturally, and here's the way one of my clients loves their photos. But there's also different settings for crisp, golden, the deep. It's like does a deep. If you look over here, it drops down the exposure, boosts the contrast, boosts the highlights, adds some shadows, takes down the whites, and brings out the black, so you get this like a deep tone. Here's their natural one, here's their deep one. So depending on your clients, depending on where you are, your style, they have these presets, or you can create your own. They give you a lot of capability to edit your photos, which I was impressed with. If I needed more tint, if I needed more temperature control, need more saturation, it's all pretty much there. Like you got a variety right there, right? Click back to the normal. So a lot of control. Let's say this back wall was a little yellow or a little bit off and it just didn't look right the way it should be. If you go down to, did the AI make a mistake? You click there and say back wall with the E is wrong color, and then you hit submit. Within 12 hours or so, the real editor will get to it, edit it, and put it back in to the photos. It works great. So let's say there was a camera and a mirror that they missed. You could send it back to them to get it fixed. Let's say this foot right here, I see a foot. I could have them remove that foot, or I could just download these and Photoshop that real quick myself. Like this one, let's say this wall is a little too tan. I want some saturation in it. I can add that saturation back in there and get it to a richer color if I wanted, or if it was too rich and I wanted to get it less, there's that saturation option, or maybe just some of the temperature that I want to adjust. I mean, it gives you a lot of flexibility. So you can see where the camera was for the picture. The camera is not there. The AI took it out. Sometimes it'll miss, like in the shower reflections is where you have to check. These look pretty good. So you see the fireplace over here. What is awesome is you can add a fire to the fireplace. You have all these options here. So you can pick the fire here that fits the best for your fireplace. I'll just go with volcano, and then use these middle ones to adjust the size, and then of course the corners to adjust the angle and stuff like that. But the one downfall is where you might still need to use Photoshop if you're very particular, is like right here. So if I try to put the flame inside this fireplace over here, there's no way to cut it out from behind the couch. But what is cool is the TV. So let's say, oh, and also you can upload your own fire flames. So if you click here, you can upload and put one in what you want. And the same with the TVs, you can upload your own screen. Let's say a customer wants a specific golf course shot or something in the TVs, you can do that. Or one of the exterior photos from your shoot, you can choose one of your exteriors to be on all the TVs. So let's say I wanted the pool to be there. So the pool is in my exterior view. Once I click the pool or one of the other pictures that I want, then I go over, pick the TV, select it, and then it puts it there. So you get that. And then up on the top right, you hit save. Any changes you make before you exit this preview screen, make sure you save them, otherwise they will not be there. Let me show you some of my other listings I did that will help you guys when you're processing or getting some photos processed. I requested them to make this listings page one of the edited photos instead of these dark. It's hard to find the one that I want right away if I don't remember the address. So here is one that we had a lot of issues with color. You can see completed revisions. What I was doing with this was the Fotello look, and you know, it looks pretty good, but this is not the actual color of the walls. And then it was an ugly house, and the agent wanted it to be close as possible to the walls. So this was pretty close to how all the walls were, but the AI just wasn't getting it. There are going to be situations like this where the AI just doesn't understand and attempts to do other colors or what it should be. So this is that same wall. There's that one color, and then there's the color it should be. What I found, so this one I didn't have to send back to editors or anything. You see the colors. This got the two different colors. It was correct. These close-ups were a little bit different, but overall the colors turned out correct. Like these are the actual two colors. And what I did differently, you see on the top right here, instead of having them uploaded and edited on the signature style, I did natural style. So it tried to pull everything, what I take is as natural. So if you have odd colors, a house like this, choose the natural style, and then it'll come out nicer. I was doing a lot of tests trying to figure out the best way to make it work. Here is the first one. So the first time we sent it, the photographer that went, his settings were off and the photos were really, really dark. And then this was the result that the editor or the AI came up with. You can see that there's white with pinkish walls. This is like this totally incorrect. Even this next setting, it was gray walls. Next setting, closer to what the actual walls were, but you can see up here, just everything was off. It was, so the photography in the beginning was bad, and then if I had done natural, maybe it would have processed it a little bit better. And then if you are on the pictures, you can switch them all to natural, so it'll redo all the edits, but you just have to go through each one hitting natural, and it'll switch your photos to the natural look, which on the exterior sometimes looks better. And then if you ever accidentally have an interior edit on an exterior shot, up on the top left, you can't see that there. Let me move this over. Up the top left, right there, if you switch right here, if you switch this to interior, it'll make it an interior edit. All right, let's go on to pricing. Now, admittedly, when I first saw this pricing, I was thinking that is crazy how they're setting this up. So what I love about the pricing plan is that you know exactly what you're paying. It's not per photo, it's per listing. When I wrap my head around it, took me a while to wrap my head around exactly the process, but it is an amazing. It's perfect for knowing what it's going to cost. So if it's 30 photos or 75 photos, it costs me the same. Also, real quick, there is no button just to start your subscription. You have to secure a spot. You have to set up a time, day to sign up and get started. So if you want to get started right away or as soon as possible, get on the calendar and select a day, time that you can talk to them. And then you got the monthly or yearly prices, and this is what it costs per listing. So let's say you're going to do the tester, just start everything and just try. You can get started for free, and you get 5 listings, and you can test 5 photos on each one. So you can just test out different color walls, scenarios. Maybe you have one that was difficult that you want to see how the AI does. There's your tester. And this is monthly rates. So if you do 10, it's $20 per listing. If you do yearly, you save some money, and it's $16 per listing. So basically you're paying $160 a month, but you pay for that in a yearly amount. Or if you do monthly, it costs you a little bit more, but you don't have to pay all that up front right away. 25 photos is the same. 50 photos is the same. Once you get up to 7,500, it becomes $16 per listing if you pay the monthly for 100 listings, which is $1,600. If you do the yearly plan, it is $1,200 a month. So you save $400 a month doing it the yearly way, but it's more upfront. So just figure out, and then there's savings calculators down here. Let's go with 50. Yeah, you shoot about 50 photos a month. That's a pretty good sized team or a very busy person. I guess that's not too bad. Just a couple. Anyway, and let's go on the cheaper side. 70 cents a photo getting edited. You are paying this month's a year, and this is how much Fotello will cost you for the year. So you're saving $27,000. It's a no-brainer. We're saving tons of money being able to do everything through Fotello. Like I said, I keep my main editor busy, but I use Fotello for everything else. They have price guarantee, all this stuff, like 7-day refund, all that. So, and they have a quick video to understand the pricing, but basically you're paying per listing. So let's do the math on that one that we just did. So it was 81 photos. Do I have a calculator on here? Let's open up ChatGPT. So between using my editor and the AI, the editor I would have got back the next day. The AI I got back in 30 minutes. So if the editor only did the 81 photos, it would have been $56.70. AI $20. So we would have saved $36.70. It's a good amount. I saved more than I actually paid. So we saved 65%. So just imagine, I know I am paying, or I was paying editors thousands a week to do my editing. Okay, let's do something a little more realistic based on if you're one busy editor. I have a team of people, so we're a lot busier than this, but this is a savings for one person. So let's say you're averaging 50 photos a house. Like, you're going to start using AI, and you don't want to limit yourself to how many photos. Some photos are going to be 30, some are going to be 70, but let's say it's 50. 50s are, here in Arizona, good amount for houses, including exterior, all that stuff. So let's say we do 3 homes a day, 5 days in 5 days. So that's 15 homes. AI charges the flat 20 or less, depending on what your setup is. Editor costs 70 cents. I don't know what your editor costs. It could be a little bit less, could be more, but it's basically $35 a home. So you're saving $15 per home on the basic plan. And so after a week, you can save $225. Now that adds up, that builds up. That is a huge savings. I know other AI things are charging 40 cents a photo, other things like that. This one, I love this model because you're paying per listing. So I know on my next price increase or whatever, I know how much it's going to cost me for editing. So let's say I have basic photo package for $100, but I don't want to pay for my website, so I use Spiro. I'll put a link to Spiro down below. They're awesome, great company to build your website on or your packages. So they charge $5 every listing you do through their site. which is awesome. And then you have, let's say, the $20 per listing on editing. So you know it costs you $25 to get the photos edited and sent to the client in a nice form website. They get their own website, all that stuff. You get to put that in a package with those two things. So it costs me $25. So if I charge $125, I add $25 to my pricing, then I know my profit is $100. It's minus gas, all the other little stuff. So it gives you concrete numbers, which is awesome. So also, Fotello, you can, if you don't want to pay for a website, you're just a one-man show, you're just doing things on Google Calendar, which I don't suggest doing. Definitely go with Spiro. If you pay $5 a listing, you don't pay anything up front. You just pay $5 when it's listed. You pay at the end of the month. So if you have 10 clients that listed, went through Spiro, ordered, did a listing, all that stuff, cost you $5, you'll make that money back. You can charge the extra $5 to your clients like it was never an issue. But what is good about Fotello, just a couple days ago they introduced adding videos, virtual tours, and floor plans to their site, so you can send a delivery page. So if you want, you can use Fotello. I see where they're going with this. I think they're going to build photography ordering site eventually. And if you want to see what delivery looks like, so they build this website where people, get their photos, they can download them, and then there's the other sections that'll pop in here. If I have video, I don't use them for this yet. Maybe that'll change, but for now, if you want to deliver everything through your Fotello site, that is the way to do it. And if you guys have any questions, comment below. This is a great AI editor. Again, I'm not affiliated, so please use the referral code. The link to Fotello is below, and my referral code is below. Thanks for watching, and we got more videos to come. Have a great day.